Today, Geneva is the stage for high-stakes diplomatic efforts as representatives from the United States government convene for critical talks. President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are expected to lead discussions on two of the world's most pressing international issues: preventing military escalation with Iran and working towards an end to the nearly four-year-old war in Ukraine. First, let's turn our attention to the war in Ukraine. This marks the third round of negotiations this year, with previous discussions in Abu Dhabi yielding little in the way of significant progress. The prospects for a breakthrough in Geneva appear dim, primarily due to Russia's unwavering stance. The Kremlin has publicly shown no readiness for compromise, reiterating its demand for Ukraine to cede the entire Donbas region to Moscow. Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister, Mikhail Galusin, even proposed temporarily placing Ukraine under United Nations control after the war, a suggestion already rejected by the Ukrainian government. Despite recent slow and costly territorial gains in the Luhansk region, Russian forces face stiff resistance in the Donetsk region, where Ukraine maintains its strongest defensive line. Consequently, Ukraine remains steadfast in its refusal to surrender this territory without a fight. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has expressed openness to other compromises, including a ceasefire and swift presidential elections, provided that the United States issues robust security guarantees. This is where a significant disagreement lies. Zelenskyy stated at the Munich Security Conference that the United States is willing to offer 15-year guarantees, but Ukraine demands a minimum of 20 or even 30 to 50 years. Crucially, Ukraine insists these guarantees must be in place at the start of any peace process, whereas the United States reportedly prefers to issue them only after Ukraine has conceded the Donbas to Russia. Within the United States government, opinions diverge on Russia's willingness to negotiate. Secretary of State Marco Rubio voiced uncertainty about Russia's commitment to ending the war, while President Trump has amplified pressure on Ukraine, urging Zelenskyy to make concessions or risk missing a crucial opportunity. The second major set of talks in Geneva focuses on Iran, representing the second round of discussions this year. Here, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff represent the United States, while Iran's delegation is led by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. These talks are being conducted indirectly, with representatives from Oman serving as mediators. The United States government faces a complex dilemma. President Trump has steadily increased military pressure on Tehran, yet the potential costs and uncertain outcomes of a military intervention, particularly its impact on the upcoming November elections, present compelling reasons to avoid escalation. To achieve its objectives without military conflict, the United States has presented three key conditions to Iran: an end to its nuclear program, a reduction in its ballistic missile arsenal, and a cessation of support for proxy organizations in the Middle East, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and the Houthi militia in Yemen. However, public opinion in the United States shows significant reluctance towards military involvement. A recent YouGov poll indicated that less than one-third of Americans support a military intervention in Iran, and even among Republicans, only a slight majority of 57% would back such an endeavor. Iran, for its part, insists on exclusively discussing its nuclear program. Deputy Foreign Minister Majid Takht Rawanchi recently proposed a compromise. Iran would reduce the enrichment level of its uranium if the United States lifts its sanctions. A high enrichment level is crucial for developing nuclear weapons. As a sign of potential de-escalation, Iran has not ruled out transferring its uranium stockpiles to other countries, with Russia having made such offers in the past. Both sides have heightened military pressure prior to these talks. The United States announced the deployment of the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford to the Gulf region, while Iran commenced military exercises in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping lane for 20% of global oil supplies. Inside the United States government, skepticism persists, with reports from the New York Times suggesting that senior officials doubt a deal satisfactory to President Trump will emerge. As the day unfolds in Geneva, the success of these negotiations remains highly uncertain. The complexities of both the Ukraine war and the Iranian nuclear issue, coupled with deep-seated disagreements and internal pressures, cast a long shadow over the prospects for immediate solutions. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. This video was generated using artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates. See you next time.